is TuneCore? In the game of music marketing, strategy is everything. You can learn as a beginner how music distribution works, how to build your brand, and how to use YouTube as a marketing platform for your music. Welcome, Music Meeples! My name is Kendra and I am here to help you understand how to maximize your reach for your music on YouTube. Today, we are going to talk about TuneCore. In this video, we're going to talk about three things. First, we're going to talk about the key features of TuneCore. Then we are going to go through together what it looks like to set up an account. And if you stick around till the end, you will see what it looks like to actually distribute your music on TuneCore. Let's get into it. Okay, Music Meeples, what actually is TuneCore? TuneCore has some key features. Primarily, it is used for music distribution. Now, as I promised, we are getting down into the very basics. So if you are a beginner, this channel is for you. Music distribution means you are sending your music out into the world. Imagine you go to the ice cream shop and there's someone out front that's handing out flyers for something that they're really excited about. They are distributing something they created to a lot of different people. When you create music, you want to send it out to a lot of people. And for that, you need a music distributor like TuneCore. There are so many different music streaming platforms out there, and you don't want to have to go log into 150 different streaming platforms and upload all of your album information manually. That's not going to work. You need a distributor so that you can upload the song once and it sends it out to all the platforms. Another feature of TuneCore is its global reach. This is not going to be just within the United States. They are going to be sending it out to digital music stores and streaming platforms across the world. This is why it can be important that you are selecting the language that your music is in, because someone might come across it who doesn't speak your language, and that's important for them to know. Another key feature of TuneCore is ownership. TuneCore is all about making sure that artists still have the rights to all their music. You're not giving your songs to TuneCore, they are just helping you distribute it. Also, it does say in my notes that you are able to pick your distribution date. We'll get into that near the end where we'll see if that's actually true. And I'm gonna try and distribute a track and see if it lets me choose a release date, because DistroKid does not let you in its most basic account. Another key feature that TuneCore likes to say that they offer is artist support. So they pride themselves on being able to coach and help artists through this music distribution process. So that's a plus. Another important feature of using TuneCore for your music distribution is the analytics and reporting. There are a lot of options where you can look to see which of your songs are performing best so that that can inform your music and help your content grow. Overall, TuneCore is there to help independent small artists distribute their music globally so that they can start to build their following and their brand. Let's take a look at what it actually looks like and set up an account together. Here we are. This is very different branding than DistroKid. You might have seen my video on DistroKid. This one has a much edgier vibe to it. It's all black with bright highlights, some sort of almost neon colors to it, whereas DistroKid was very like pop, colorful, cartoony. So it's just kind of a fun way to see how different companies have different brands, something you can consider as you are building your brand as an artist. Now, this already is a much more complicated beginning interface. On TuneCore, they do have the sign up now button right here. Let's just see what they say. TuneCore, sell your music worldwide. Get your music on Spotify, Apple Music, TikTok, YouTube, Tidal, Tencent, and more. It also does make sure that it emphasizes that you keep 100% ownership of your music. And their plans start at $19.99 a year. On the top, there's already a lot of different options where you can start to explore what this looks like before you even sign up. You can see right here a nice visual of where your music could get. Music publishing is the next option. So TuneCore publishing is an interesting feature here. If you have written songs that you might have already been generating some royalties on, TuneCore publishing can help you streamline that and make sure that you're getting the money that you have earned. So let's take take a look at some of the other services that they like to advertise. You can track your releases with TuneCore Release Track. Let's take a look and see how that works. It says you pour your blood, sweat, and tears into writing and recording a song, and you upload it to a streaming service, and you wait for it to appear online with no feedback until now. It says that TuneCore Release Tracker is the most convenient, comprehensive way to follow your release through the step-by-step distribution process. With that in mind, TuneCore does take longer to distribute your songs. And so I think this is why they have this release tracker option, because with DistroKid or CD Baby, you submit your song and it is up virtually immediately. Like by the next day, it will be up. But TuneCore takes longer, and so I think they had to develop this tool to justify why that is. Let's look at the pricing options on TuneCore. Okay, pricing and plans. Here's what I like about this. If you are a new artist, you can join for free. We are going to be creating a free account today just to see what limitations there really are. If you are just getting started, I always recommend that you start with the free program. We don't need to be spending extra money until we actually know that we need those features. But let's take a look at the other option. Rising Artists. This is the Essential Distribution Plan. Unlimited music to all social media platforms and 150 digital music stores. The free option is just going to distribute to social media platforms. This is for true beginners. If you want your music streamed, you are gonna have to pay that $20 a year. But again, until you actually have songs ready to release onto these streaming platforms, start with the free, play around with it, and then when you're really ready to commit, go in. Let's look at the Breakout Artists option. It is $34.99 a year, and it says release unlimited music to social platforms and 150 digital stores, and then plus it offers better customization for your releases. They don't go into details up here, but let's scroll down and see. We're looking at these pink check marks. Customer service, they'll get back to you within 2 days, but the key things here is that you can get a daily trends report. You can use a tool called Cover Art Creator. That sounds pretty cool. And you can use your own ISRC. So an international recording, what is it? I need to Google it again. I always forget. ISRC, International Standard Recording Code. And so this is just a way to better track your song across the globe. Those are the extra options. It's actually not a ton of extra features when you jump up from $20 to $35. You're gonna see a bigger jump when you get into the professional plan. The premier plan, they say, for labels and industry pros. This is for people who are a label, you are an agent, you are helping other artists distribute their music. If you are an independent artist and you're just putting out your own music, you're not gonna need this plan, because let's take a look. So we've got all of these extra things, but access to exclusive partnerships. You've got promotional opportunities, pro panels and expert sessions, custom label name. You can use a UPC. Let's say you have a Shopify store, you are registering different products and you have a UPC, then you can incorporate that with your music release. But here's the thing where they're really gonna get you. You have to pay an additional $14.99 per artist profile. So as a distributor, as a label or manager, whatever, if you are helping people with this, if you're gonna pay for the professional account, it's gonna be $50 for the year and $15 for each of the different artists that you represent. Let's just take a look at the free account. Okay, on this page, you are going to add your name, email address, password, very simple initial setup. I agree to the terms and conditions. Let's take a look at those. This is all about the music distribution. If you are going to be distributing your music, you should always read the terms and conditions because you want to understand. And here's the problem. Terms and conditions are often so dense, so long, and they use language that is difficult to understand. So if you want another video that helps break down the terms and conditions that you see here, let me know and I can help you with that. But like, oh my gosh, I'm still scrolling. This is like the most in-depth terms and conditions, contract ever. And I'm not gonna spend the time going through it right now because that would probably take us half an hour. I'm just gonna go ahead and do what I just said you shouldn't and agree. Okay, it says you're all set. Welcome to TuneCore. It says please click on the link we just emailed you to verify your account. Still waiting. I haven't gotten the email yet. Oh, I'm on the wrong email account. Hold on. There we go. Okay, verify your TuneCore account. Once you have signed up, then it is going to give you the options. One thing I didn't notice before, it says pay per release here. So this is interesting. Which one should we do? I think I'm gonna go with the unlimited plan. Even if you are creating a free account, I think it's gonna make me add a card for later when I do want to upgrade. I think they assume if you have the free account, you're eventually going to be spending some money, and let's be honest, you are. That was interesting. It took like 10 seconds. It had like a payment processing box, please wait. It didn't just automatically go into it. So like they're really making sure that they can get access to your money. Oh, it says, make sure that you can access your TuneCore account. Keep your money and account information safe by enabling two-factor authentication. Yes, you should do this. I'm gonna hit not right now just for the sake of time, but you genuinely should have two-factor authorization on all of your accounts because it is so easy for different hackers to log in. All right, I have successfully completed the purchase of the basic account. That took a little bit of time. That took me like 10-15 minutes to get that set up. Okay, before we get to the last step, which is looking at add a release, do me a favor. I would love if you would hit subscribe on this channel. I will give you a few seconds to do that. Go ahead and hit like as well. Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, now let's see what it looks like to add a release. First things first, you want to choose if it's a single, an album, or this is fun, a ringtone. I like that idea. I'm gonna do single. A lot of artists in 2024 aren't waiting to distribute an entire album. They are instead releasing music more often, and it's just a great way to kind of keep your audience excited and also to get more content out there rather than just having one album that you release a year. Some artists are even sending out a new song every week. It's a lot of fun to continually be creating content, but a lot of work. So anyway, we're gonna do the single. We need to give it a title. So let's say, I'm gonna say Kendra's song. Then you add the artist. Now, the main artist's name, we'll put Kendra. Now look, it's looking into Spotify to see if it recognizes that you are an artist. And it says no results found. So obviously if this is your first one, you're not gonna be in there. But if you are a well-known artist, then you might. Let me try something else. It's going to look to see. Now, this is not me. Okay, it came up with a different artist. And so what you can do if you already have a Spotify profile is you can provide the link, or you can create a new Spotify profile. Create a new Apple profile if you don't have it yet. Okay, already this is starting to be a lot more cumbersome than DistroKid was. Like, I don't have these Spotify and Apple Music accounts set up. In my opinion, I would rather have the music distributor create the accounts for me, and I know I can skip these, so I'm gonna go back, but this is just kind of muddying up the experience in my opinion. It's not as easy to just go. Now, does the song have explicit lyrics? No. Does any explicit track exist? They want to be sure that they mark that clearly. We don't want little ears hearing inappropriate language. You want to pick your language, your genre. I'm gonna do children's music. Secondary genre is there as an option. So let's say if I am going to have country kids music, I can add that in there. And the release date. Okay, this is exciting. So even with the free account, TuneCore is letting me choose the release date. This is exciting. This is where I have heard suggestions from other people that you want to start your distribution at least a few weeks ahead of time, because TuneCore is going to take longer to distribute your music, but you get to pick the release date. So that's exciting. I'm even in a free account. So definitely a bonus. It is going to ask if you have previously released this music. No. Now it is giving me some advanced distribution feature. A label name. If you work with a label, you can do that. I wonder if I could just put anything in there, because it said in the more advanced account that it lets you set up a label, but the option's here. Comment below if you know. Can I just make my own label? Maybe. Let's see. Okay, recording location, that's optional as well. Can it be released worldwide? There might be some restrictions, some reasons, some partnership that you cannot distribute it worldwide. And so that's important to know. And then you can put your UPC or EAN code if you have one of those for your product. Now this is interesting because it said UPC was one of those checkboxes for the most professional version, but I'm on the free account. So I feel like there's some inconsistencies here on TuneCore of what you're allowed to do on the free account. Save the release and add songs. Then it's going to take you into this next page where you can actually edit the single. It says incomplete. It's got Kendra's Song is the name of the title by Kendra, the name of the artist. This is where you can see that we are on the free account because it is going to automatically send to social platforms, but it is not going to send it to stores like Amazon Music, Spotify, any of those, unless you do that as an add-on that you pay for. YouTube counts as a social platform. There is YouTube Music, but it's still considered in here within the social platforms, and they even have a note here that says, please review monetization eligibility requirements for YouTube Content ID and Facebook, Instagram Reel. It does get a little tricky when it comes to having a actual YouTube Content ID. Since YouTube is my specialty, I wanna go ahead and click into this and see what it's gonna say. You have to have exclusive rights to a song in order to have a YouTube ID. This has to be something that you have exclusive rights to use. If you wrote it and you performed it, no problem at all. If it's a third-party material, then it does get a little bit complicated. You have to make sure that you have the rights before you claim it with a YouTube ID. Otherwise, it's going to be ineligible. Look at all of these options of what is ineligible. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna make a separate video on all about YouTube Content IDs because this is a lot to go over. Let's just focus on TuneCore. Beatport is an option where you can release it, but it does cost you $8 a month. Then you can actually upload the song. Please make sure that your files are the right format. So you're going to want to make sure that it's stereo wave files in 24-bit for the sample size with 192 kilohertz sample rate are recommended. But 16-bit sample size, okay, here's the thing. I am not a music producer, so I don't even know how to ensure that your song is the right file. My focus is really on implementing your music within social platforms and YouTube, so this is where you're going to want to consult with someone in the music industry. Once you've uploaded the file, you add the songwriters, the artist name. It says, in order to distribute a cover song, you may be required to obtain certain rights. Now, I know DistroKid has a nice area where you can just go in and apply for that licensing right within DistroKid. I'm not seeing it on here, but let me know in the comments if you know where to find that so that you can actually obtain the rights within TuneCore. All right, and then again, we're seeing that ISRC number. You can put the lyrics in, which is nice. You can put the, if you want to make a specific clip for TikTok, so if there's a specific point that you know will be good for TikTok, you can actually choose the part that'll be available for people to use for their videos. So that's pretty cool. All right, next you do your artwork. So you upload your artwork, hit save. Otherwise, there is this really neat tool here, Cover Art Creator, that is unique to TuneCore, which I think is pretty cool that you can do it within there. Then once you have uploaded it and you've added all that information in, you can distribute it and voila! That is releasing a song on TuneCore. Next, let's take a look at a different distributing platform.